I don't know what the deal is. It's trying to make one.
We know, Andy. We're listening. We're watching.
I'm glad it turned after it made through town here.
Where did you say you saw it from, Carroll?
Yeah, I saw the funnel.
You were in Carroll when you saw the funnel?
Yeah, I saw the funnel coming down.
Where were you at Hy-Vee or something?
Yeah, it's Hy-Vee, and then the light. This is...
We need to maybe listen to the radio, Kevin, find out exactly what the hell it's hit. It didn't hit Shettlers, did it? Get out of this one, it's sitting in the car. It's not going to hurt us. Here, I hope. Look at that spread.
Did you listen to it?
I was watching it, standing outside watching it.
Sound like a freight train.
And it didn't come through like this.
Well, at least it's going, Auburn's there.
Not much.
But, boy,
Ulmer's about right there.
Yeah.
We're pretty close to there.
God, if it would have went through this town, holy cow.
That size, there wouldn't be anything left in Mount Carmel. That thing is big.
We are lucky.
Yeah, what's it going to do? Is it going to break the guy's city, or is it going to quit? It doesn't look like it's...
It's big. Look how wide it is. It's got to be a half-mile wide, isn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't anything like that.
Or more.
It was just start.
It just
when
began.
Because there was never any real defined shape like that.
Here's the radio.
Monster.
This just in from the National Weather Service. We do have a tornado warning now posted for western Calhoun County.
You could just see him chasing, running into it.
Tornado warning. This is not a watch. This is a warning.
Maybe it's
posted until 8:15.
It does look like it, doesn't it?
Some of the towns affected by
Like
this
it's breaking
warning
up.
are Auburn, Ulmer, Vetter, and also Sac City. A tornado has been spotted 3 miles south of Auburn. Now, that was just about 10 minutes ago by local law enforcement. And it seemed to be moving north at about 20 miles per hour. They're now saying that the storm will be near Yetter by 7:55 this evening. Now, once again, that's about 5 or 6 minutes away from right now. Once again, this tornado warning. This is not a watch. This is a warning, meaning the tornadoes are on the ground and dangerous weather is in the area. Until 8:15 this evening is when that will remain in effect until. And if you are in or near this storm, take cover immediately in the lowest floor and the innermost room of a building. Once again, a tornado warning means that tornadoes have been spotted in the area for western Calhoun County and also eastern Sac County, and that remains in effect until 8:15 this evening.
Tom Earlbeck's got a great big tree.
Steve Oswald. News Channel 8 has team coverage this afternoon. In a moment, we'll be going live via News Star 8 satellite to Carroll with Deirdre Fitzpatrick. And our Todd Megal is joining us from our newsroom with details of tornado damage west of Des Moines near Stewart. We'll also have coverage from in Adair County. The worst damage was just south of Stewart. The county sheriff there says that Adair County may turn out to be one of the hardest hit areas of the state. News Channel 8's Todd Megal was there for several hours last night and again for several hours this afternoon. Todd, I understand that you have some amazing home video.
We do, Steve. Several home video cameras were rolling last night, and they captured a number of those tornadoes blasting through the countryside. Jack Lawson shot this incredible home video from his home in rural Adair County. The huge tornado moved toward him and traveled right past his farmhouse. He was lucky, but a half dozen other farmhouses were not. The twister on the videotape smashed through the Frida Bowman home just south of Stewart. The wind ripped the house off the foundation, tore through 100-year-old trees, and tossed 2 cars and a pickup across the farmyard. Bowman is hospitalized with an injured hip. Her daughter and her husband had little time to take cover.
We only had a few minutes to get down to the basement. It came over the hill, and it was about a quarter-mile wide. It was just huge.
Toward the north, blasting through the Bill Jacoby farm, powerful winds knocked down a 100-year-old remodeled barn, a corn crib, and killed some livestock. Luckily, no one here was injured. Finally, the storm hit a brand new house near Dexter, a few more miles northeast. It tore the roof off the Dow and Angela Keller home and sucked out many of their belongings. They moved in just a month ago. Adair County Sheriff Fred Skelliger says he's still adding up the damage amounts in Adair County, but they are expected to be in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, friends of the Antisdales there at the Bowman farm have established a fund for the family which lost everything in the tornado last night. You can send donations to the Union State Bank, 214 South First Street. That's in Greenfield, Iowa. The zip there, 50849. And all the money you send in, those donations will help rebuild that destroyed farm, and it is destroyed. Steve?
All right, Todd, thank you very much for your hard work throughout this weekend on this storm coverage. Well, as we mentioned at the top of our news, Carroll County was ravaged by the tornadoes last night as well. That's where we find our Deirdre Fitzpatrick. She's joining us there live via News Star 8 satellite. Deirdre.
Steve, we're joining you from a house that is 102 years old. It is the home for the last 2 years of Susan and Gary Ludwig, and they have very graciously allowed us to take you on a tour of what the twister did to their home last night and in turn to their lives. All the News Hawk video we've shown you has given you an idea of a twister that, for all practical purposes, seems to have measured at least a half a mile in width. Look at what the pressure must have been like to rip the insulation from the walls, to take the windows from the window frames, and in turn take all that glass and shatter and scatter it all over what used to be their kitchen. The tornado took everything. The refrigerator is gone. Even up here you can see the oven was taken away. Ironically, all that's left is the kitchen sink. But what the tornado taketh, the tornado also giveth in the form of mud, which now covers all of the walls of this home. It's so thick you can barely scratch it away. To see it on the ground is one thing, but to see it from up in the air and to see how wide the coverage was is an entirely different picture. It just covers an entire road in front of the Ludwig's house. Almost every house and farm along this road has been hit in some way. You might as well call it Tornado Alley today because there is debris absolutely everywhere. And that is why nearly 200 people showed up at this farm by 7:30 this morning. They brought bulldozers, brawny strength, and a belief that they can take care of each other and clean all of this place up.
That's why we live in rural America. I mean, there's still the neighbor there. Funny part about it is I don't know probably maybe half these people because I live in Carroll, 15 miles away. But, you know, they're all there and they all work together. And next year, maybe somebody else may have a tragedy. So.
And you'll be there for them?
Yes.
And this is the backyard here of the Ludwig's house. All of this back here used to be a grove of trees, and Gary Ludwig told us last night that really it is the only thing that he and his friends cannot replace because it had took so long for all of those trees to grow. You will undoubtedly see the same group of people that were out here cleaning up today back to help replant the fields and also hopefully to build this house. It stood for 102 years, and with a good raising and some more building, I'm sure another one will stand for the Ludwigs quite soon. Steve?
Deirdre, even with all of that volunteer help that you were talking about, it's still going to take some time to get things back to normal there.
An enormous amount of time, but it is remarkable how much they accomplished in just 8 hours. In fact, they're being rewarded for that. A local restaurant has graciously sponsored an entire dinner for 150 volunteers to reward them for all that hard work and teamwork and community effort that they did today.
Deirdre Fitzpatrick reporting live via News Star 8 satellite from Carroll County this afternoon. Well, Baird in Guthrie County was...
Okay. Now, Nancy, would you please hit the brakes? There. You see, show the light there? Okay, let off on the brakes. Hit the brakes again. There we go. We've got power. Now that we've accomplished this feat, we know we have the wires going to the proper connector. We can now take and use our tie strings to adhere the wire so that it does not move around and gives it a complete finished look. Okay, we got one there. Okay, we will trim those off.